Kirkwood and Kirkwood Court.
Best case scenario is verbal. Best case scenario is waiting for backup, and we're well trained to do that. But when the circumstances don't dictate that and we have to take action, let's be really good at it.
When Police Chief Jody Matherly first took over his new role a few months back, he began talking with the University of Iowa Police about improving some training.
Be a little better at our defensive tactics and our ability to control people with decreasing the likelihood that we would injure, that officers would be injured or the suspect themselves.
And to do that, Matherly turned to a sport he has been passionate about all of his life.
The perfect answer to that was to partner with the University of Iowa wrestling team.
The police department reached out to the wrestling team in hopes of lining up some training. The coaching staff in Iowa quickly jumped on board with the idea.
It's a pretty cool partnership, and we're glad to help in any way that we can, and hopefully that some of our techniques can transition over to the field.
Members of the wrestling team, past and present, welcome the officers to their training facility at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
They're being taught basically how to sprawl, defend yourself off leg attacks, being able to put a guy down and defend yourself.
The idea is to teach officers some basic fundamentals that can help control a situation with as little force as possible.
In the reality of it, those basic things are what come down to make the difference in a situation like that.
Basically, it's about hand control and arm control. No strikes.
Sergeant Doug Hart is a veteran on the force and has done defensive tactic training every year that he has been with the department. He says this idea was a welcome change of pace.
Training can get monotonous. We have older officers like myself sometimes don't look forward to defensive tactics training. What a great idea to freshen this up, and I think it brought a lot of synergy to the training and to our department this week.
Hart adds that during his time with the department, he has noticed that officers with a wrestling background do have an advantage in these type of situations.
In our experience, we find that oftentimes officers with a wrestling background have a tendency to use less force because they're comfortable in positions where they have to gain control either on their feet or in ground fighting techniques.
The tactics learned during this training are designed to do just that. Teach officers how to get control of a situation as safely as possible.
For us to be able to do that more effective with less energy and do it safely means everything.
And this type of training has more than just the officer's safety in mind.
Using good technique through this excellent training that the university is providing, it's a win-win for us. And it's a win-win for the defendant, for the suspect. We don't want them hurt.
The opportunity provided a new perspective on important training for the department's officers. And the wrestlers found the experience to be equally gratifying.
It's really fun, helping them out. They do a lot for the community that definitely goes unthanked and unappreciated. So it's really nice to get to give back to them and help them a bit.